the NLC will support Mr. Peter Obi during those statements, if the TUC has not come out since that time when Obi said go to remove subsidy, then it is somehow very funny for them to now be promoting strike, to be threatening the president now that they want to go on strike. I want them to apologize to Nigerians for accepting with Mr. Peter Obi that they will support him to remove this, the fuel subsidy, 100%.
With the high level of deregulation problems, corruption, and the challenge of who to take the reign of affairs, Nassau Rock comes sometime after the tribunal sits in 6 months' time. Nigeria has been dented with such issues. I'm talking about headaches and sicknesses that are pertaining to the polity. The democratic system is shaky and the political system in Nigeria is unstable. My name is Angelo Himalayas. Welcome to Nation's Voice Tower. First on my update, I have something from the factional part of the Labour Party, the Bashiru Lamidi Akpaba-led Labour Party. The former factional publicity secretary of the Lamidi Akpaba-led faction of the Labour Party, that is Mr. Abayomi Arabambi, has blown hot once more. Okay, this time around, Abayomi has dragged the Trade Union Council, the TUC, and the Nigerian Labour Congress, the NLC, and of course the presidential candidate of their party over a sort of alleged plot to confuse Nigerians with protest over removal of subsidy. Okay, now he has said that the NLC have been playing and messing with the minds of Nigerians, trying to portray the fact that they are actually after the welfare of Nigerians, while in another instance, it doesn't seem so. Arabambi questioned the threat of the NLC to go on strike next week, Wednesday, as regards to the non-compliance of the government to review the attempt to remove the fuel subsidy. And furthermore, I would not really say much on this. I would allow you to watch a brief caption from the press conference granted by Abayomi Arabambi, who has been on the news and who has been trending for the wrong reasons right from when the court proceedings at the Court of Appeal began. Okay, you will remember that Bashiru Lamidi Akpaba, who was the Labour Party factional chairman, Abayomi Arabambi, who was the factional publicity secretary of the Arabambi or of the Bashiru-led faction, and then Ansel Meragbe, who was the alleged legal advisor of that particular faction, have been on the news trying to troll the Labour Party, dragging them to the mud over few reasons pertaining to party chairmanship. Let me allow you watch this clip briefly.
Peter Obi said during the presidential media chat, in fact, our position about the removal of subsidy during our campaign has not changed. We have not reversed that position because it was not our candidate that won the presidential election. Whatever we agreed during our campaign, and as a party promote peace, equality, and justice in Nigeria, then we can't be found to be appropriating and reprobating at the same time. The same organized labor who stood on that position must not be seen to be working in crop purposes on the same thing that Atiku, Tinubu, and even Obi said they were going to do. I need to make it clear that Mr. Peter Obi, during the presidential media chat, which I have the video on channel on Arise, he has said he will remove it 100% and that subsidy is an organized crime. If the NLC will support Mr. Peter Obi during those statements, if the TUC has not come out since that time when Obi said go to remove subsidy, then it is somehow very funny for them to now be promoting strike, to be threatening the president now that they want to go on strike. I want them to apologize to Nigerians for accepting with Mr. Peter Obi that they will support him to remove this, the fuel subsidy, 100%. They should not now be running after the president that had just been sworn in. He was not the one that removed the subsidy. Mr. Peter Obi said the subsidy had been removed. They told us since last year that by June 2022, subsidy will come to an end. Both the NSC, both the TUC consented to this. So for them now to be appropriating and reprobating, it is not fair on Nigerians. So Mr. Juajero, he better resign or he will apologize to Nigeria for supporting Obi ambition to remove subsidy. Comrade Osifo should resign or apologize to Nigerians, because we have their support during our campaign that subsidy will be removed. So now they cannot.
Okay, that was Abayomi Arabambi. I think he doesn't really back down from doing his duties under the Lamidi-led faction. He always addresses the press conference. I will give him that. Okay, now let us address the issue politically. When you take a look, you would know that Abayomi has been sponsored. I am not allergic, I'm saying. Okay, I'm not allergic, I'm saying right now. He has been sponsored. Now, my take on this is this. Right from the last time, a court in Benin City, Edo State, affirmed Julius Abure, Barrister Julius Abure, as now the authentic, legitimate, and one and only chairman, national chairman of the Labour Party. We haven't heard anything from Bashiru Lamidi Akpakpa. That is number one. And we haven't had anything from this same Abayomi Arabambi. Why do these people surface anytime there is a huge issue or a huge problem pertaining to the welfare of Nigerians as it governs or concerns the Labour Party? Why? Now, we all know that the Labour Party was formed by some board of trustees, which is the trade union and the Nigerian Labour Congress. Now, these particular unions or these board of trustees have different objectives that are in compliance with the constitution of the Labour Party. Okay, so if Abayomi would allege that the three main presidential candidates in the just concluded presidential elections, that is Atiku Abubakar of the PDP, Peter Obi Gregory of the Labour Party, and Asiwaju, actually proposed to remove the subsidy, why will Labour Party or why will the NLC now threaten to go on a protest? That is his point. But I see no reason why he should come up from the blues, from God knows where, to come and address this issue. This issue, for crying out loud, doesn't concern his own faction. And for all we know, that faction has been dissolved and rendered non-functional. Okay, so Arabambi should please mind how he speaks on air and mind how he draws closer. For your information, Abayomi, the ongoing tribunal in court has gone far. So I doubt if you can do anything to truncate the legal process ongoing. That is that on that particular update. I hope you really enjoyed our time together on that update. I have more for you. Don't forget, this is still Nation Voice Tower. Now I have something quite different from the ordinary. During Saturday's court proceedings at the Presidential Election Tribunal, counsel to the Labour Party and Peter Gregory Obi, Mr. Jibrin Okutepa, who is also a senior advocate of Nigeria, has disclosed that the newly inaugurated vice president of the country, Senator Kashim Shettima, was a senatorial candidate when he accepted to be Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's running mate. According to the council, Shettima's acceptance could be dated back to the 15th of July 2022, and it was actually worthy of note that this disclosure was made in the context of the ongoing Presidential Elections Tribunal, which is examining the validity of the 2023 presidential elections just concluded. And so this development is likely to generate significant interest and scrutiny in the coming days. Yes, and the election tribunal going on continues to examine the evidence presented by the various parties involved in this. Now, the truth is, it remains to be seen how this information will impact the tribunal or the tribunal's ultimate verdict and subsequent judgment. Let me give you a sort of explanation so that you would listen from the horse's mouth. I have Jibrin Okutepa with a short press briefing immediately after the court sitting on Saturday. Watch him.
The withdrawal from senatorial election of Senator Kasim, which was signed and filed with INEC on the 15th of July 2022, and the acceptance of his nomination, which was also filed and served with INEC on the 14th of July. So that documents are before the court. He accepted, from what we have seen, to be vice presidential candidate on the 14th of July 2022, while still a senatorial candidate for Bruno Central constituency. The one they gave to us, Exhibit P A1 to 4, are from them, but there are still other relevant documents. As you heard my leader earlier in court, we have issued them what we call subpoena for them to produce, because they are all public documents. You are entitled to it, I'm entitled to it, everybody is entitled to it upon payment. So they should give us, and they shouldn't hide it. I expect them not to do so, because if they hide them, you will ask questions why.
All right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is still Nation's Voice Tower, your most preferred YouTube channel, that hub that keeps you updated on the polity, the political system, and the ongoing governance, developmental governance, I would call it, in Nigeria. Yes, and before we go further, I would urge all viewers, whether incoming or already existing, to please like and share our videos to people around you and people outside Nigeria. And then don't also forget to share these videos too. Don't forget to also drop a comment for us in the comment section. And then please, before I forget, I would urge you to tap the notification bell so you would always get updates from us anytime we drop any. Finally, I have this particular update coming from Femi Falana in an interview with Channels News over the abrupt removal of fuel subsidy by Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President of Nigeria, GCFR. Now, in a recent interview with Channels, the truth is, Falana, who is also a human rights lawyer and a senior advocate of Nigeria, made a sort of sketchy revelation about the ruling class. Okay, now Falana, known for his fearless activism over time, expressed his disappointment and labeled the ruling class as both incompetent and reckless. This is a huge allegation. Let me allow you to watch the brief cutaway from the interview on Channels News.
A limited liability company. It is now NNPC Limited. To that extent, the NNPC, like Total, like ExxonMobil, like Shell, operating in the oil industry, cannot announce increases in the prices of petroleum products. That duty is vested in the government. So, and that is what I mean. There is a judgment of the court, Federal High Court, which has not been set aside. The case of Bamidele Aturu and the Minister of Petroleum Resources. This judgment was delivered in the Federal High Court in Abuja here by Justice Adamu Bello, now retired, to the effect that nobody has the right in Nigeria to fix the prices of petroleum products other than the government. Because you have the Price Control Act, and at that time, the Petroleum Act, now PIA Act. So you ask the NNPC, where have you got the powers to fix the prices of petroleum products, or the price of petrol this time around? From 185 or thereabout to 540. How? So, and the clarification is important. Yes.
All said and done, that is economy, that is fuel subsidy. Of course, Falana is a political lawyer, an activist, and a welfare fighter, a freedom fighter, who could name on and on. Okay, now I have said before that he's known for fearless activism. I could name some of them that are fearlessly active for the welfare of Nigerians, okay? But the truth is this. He is saying the truth and nothing but the truth. Because the cabal, the alleged cabal governing the NNPCL, we didn't even know when the NNPC became a privatized company, okay? So that particular cabal governing the NNPCN has not done well by instilling this hike in fuel price or fuel pump price. Because from what Falana is saying there, the ruling class have gotten it wrong this time around. And Asiwaju, who is actually the head of the ruling class, should quickly do something about this before matters get out of hand. Because we can't be a petroleum exporting country and then still partake in subsidy. Even if there are plans on ground to take away the subsidy, we should know that there are other ways to introduce palliatives to actually soften the way of life and the economic crunch that could becloud Nigerians if this subsidy is abruptly and removed impromptu. So the government of the federal government should do the needful, and please look into these cases, because the NLC would not back down from the alleged or the threatened protest on Wednesday next week. Thanks for joining us. I will beg you to keep a date with us later on in my next video. See you next time. Bye.